Tyler Huntley starting today in place of Lamar Jackson. Look, a couple of weeks ago, John Harbaugh said he expected Lamar Jackson and Roquan Smith back after the bye. Roquan Smith is playing today against his former Chicago Bears team. Lamar Jackson is not. The team listed him as a full participant in practice on Friday. It downgraded that participation on Saturday to limited after the controversy. In a week in which we saw all the issues surrounding the NBA and gambling, the NFL doesn't want anything that raises any questions. And so this week, the NFL now will look to do an investigation and talk to people to see whether the Ravens were guilty of any wrongdoing. The Ravens insist that they felt like there was a chance Jackson was going to play. He was a full participant on Friday, and that will be up to the league to determine whether or not that's true. And in the interim, it'll be up to Tyler Huntley to keep alive their season, Greeny.
All right, Schefter, and to that point, the line moved substantially yesterday. We can show it to you. Lamar Jackson missing his third straight game. The betting line moved 5 points after it was announced that he would be out and Tyler Huntley would start, and here's the reason why.
Should have moved more.
The Ravens are 0-2 without him. This year, they scored 13 total points in those 2 games. They're 3-11 in their last 14 games without him, including the playoffs. Rex, you have a dumbfounded expression on your face. Why?
Yeah, because I'm just saying, look, they go to Huntley, and he couldn't win when they could play defense. Now they can't play defense, and we're expecting them to, oh, don't worry about it. We're the mighty Ravens. No, you're not anymore. You're not. And this thing with Lamar not being able to play again, man, I like the Bears big time in this one.
So, Randy, there are people who will say, if their season's on the line, if he's 70% of himself, it's a hamstring. If he's 70%, he's got to give it a go. What do you say to them?
Greeny, we're talking about the most valuable hamstring in all of the National Football League, and Lamar Jackson. 70% for him of what he does and what the organization requires of him, that's not good enough. That hamstring needs to be in the 90%. And the reason why is because what you do in practice throughout the week, testing hamstrings and testing injuries, like the guys, Roquan Smith, those guys may be coming back at 70, 80%. But when you have a guy that makes all of his money in this organization, the ball moves just because of his legs, he needs to be at about 90, 95%.
What's going on in Baltimore? What is all the confusion? Is he practicing or is he not practicing? Because when we're out there on practice, certainly as players, and you see your starting quarterback out there, I mean, usually if they can't go, they're not even on the field, okay? They got rehab to do. They got tape to watch for the opponent that they think they're going to play for. You get him out there, it's almost like a tease to everyone else. And it's like, oh, are you playing this? We got Lamar. Then all of a sudden Saturday, I hope they knew. I hope they knew, because if they're starting the weekend thinking they're going to have Lamar, now they don't have Lamar. I mean, this is just totally deflating if you're a member of the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't look good for Baltimore. Listen, they score more than 32 points a game when Lamar's in the game. They score 6 points a game when he's not, right? I mean, this is a drastically different team. Whoever's at quarterback, Snoop, Cooper Rush, right, it hasn't really mattered. And you pair it with this defense that's been so porous, right, this is not a good situation. The big question for me, again, coming off their bye week, obviously Lamar not playing, but, like, everybody else is back for this team, right? Roquan's back, Marlon Humphrey's back. Everybody on defense is back playing.
But how healthy
Can you
are
make
they?
any changes, though? Can they do anything different defensively from a scheme standpoint to play winning football?
Well, I hope so.
It's the worst insult ever to tell me I need my starting quarterback to win a football game. That's what this team is being known as. If Lamar's playing, you got a great chance. If he doesn't play, you're written off. You've got everybody back. Can you win? Can you win one game without Lamar? I'll be watching that to see how Roquan and all these leaders that are back on defense. How about one game? One game win without your quarterback, and then on Thursday night make a run.
Yeah, I mean, can you actually play defense? This thing is historically built on defense. When you think of the Baltimore Ravens, you think of defense. Now, look, they had the off week. You heard the defensive coordinator sit back and say, we went back, we're studying the pressures and things like that. Thank God. Do something. I don't care what it is. But, I mean, this has been absolutely atrocious. But pride, show up with that Raven pride. And the thing is, though, but what do the numbers say? Numbers say no. You are all about Lamar Jackson, period.
The last thing on Lamar and the injury, listen, hamstrings are funny, right? Like, this isn't a toughness thing. This isn't something you just rub dirt on and you kind of play through pain, right? Like, they can be finicky. He could be out for even longer. Real question I have is, they have a short week. They play next week on Thursday.
Right.
I know they're expecting him then. Is that actually going to happen? I mean, that's only 5 days away.
But how the hell can you expect him then if, he can't play today? I don't understand that.
Well, that would be a great question to ask Adam Schefter, and the good news is I happen to have
There
Adam
you
Schefter
go.
sitting right over there. Schefter, what can you add here?
Well, Greeny, the expectation is that Lamar Jackson is going to play on Thursday night at Miami against the Dolphins in his home state. And I think that entered into the decision today to rule him out. Rather than play 2 games in 5 days, they approached it whereas they were going to bring him back to practice, ramp him up, get him ready to play, and he is expected to go Thursday night against Miami. Then again, he was expected to go today, in John Harbaugh's opinion, a couple of weeks ago, and he didn't. But I think they believe that he will be there Thursday night, which is why today's game becomes so critical.
Rex, we were talking yesterday. You gave me 2 words to describe where the Jets are right now.
Rock bottom. And to me, it feels that way. And being a lifelong Jet guy, this is awful. And look, Woody was trying to support his coach, okay? Because quite honestly, everybody, including the quarterback, has been atrocious. And that's what I see. And to make matters worse, what makes it worse is your main rivals, the New England Patriots, brought in a first-time coach, all right, a new coach, which, by the way, the team wasn't as good as your team, all right? This is not a complete rebuild with the Jets. So you're expecting to have the results that New England's had, all right? But the difference is this. That coach came in and immediately changed the culture, right? Built the culture. The culture was there. He brought it back, okay? But when you build a culture, it's not just through the walls in that locker room. It's with the fan base. Mike Vrabel has connected with that fan base, right? The current situation has not connected with the fan base with the Jets. Also making it worse is the team that you share your building with, your stadium with, looks like they have a franchise quarterback whom you could have drafted.
Yep.
And how did he come in and spark that fan base? That's why I say it looks like rock bottom. I think Woody's feeling the pressure right here. I can tell you this about Woody Johnson. Woody Johnson is a guy that wants to win. I'm telling you, in the worst way, he wants to win. All right? That I can tell you. And he's a good man. It doesn't look like it here. It doesn't look like it here, but I'm just telling you.
I know you know him. I know you're close to this, so I get it. Listen, this is absurd, right? You're true. It's rock bottom, but it's rock bottom because of this guy, right? Yep. Listen, it is impossible to overcome dysfunctional ownership, and this is the definition of it. Woody Johnson. Listen, I lived it. Trust me, I know. How many head coaches and quarterbacks is this guy mowed through, right? How many of them are we going to – and he drove the bus over this kid right here. Listen, Sam Darnold, he looks pretty good right now, right?
Does.
Hey, Robert Saleh coaching his butt off in San Francisco. Weird. Aaron Rodgers winning a lot of games all of a sudden, right? Hey, maybe the problem is you, Woody, right? Maybe we look in the mirror. You have the longest playoff drought in all of the NFL.
And
right?
all sports.
Listen, it starts at the top. And it trickles down, and this is cowardly. This is an owner that's deflecting because his organization is terrible, and he drove the bus over a 26-year-old quarterback, right over the back of him. I'm not going to justify. I don't think Justin Fields has played great at all this season. You're telling me he's the only problem? You don't have a win. It's everywhere. The head coach is the problem. The coordinators are the problem. This entire roster is the problem.
You want to throw it at the
and to point it at this kid is ridiculous. In the middle of the season. By the way, he's wearing the jersey today. He is starting quarterback for your football team, your jersey.
Yeah,
how are you going to look this kid in the eye in the locker room?
This is one of those games, the owner took his shot. This is where, I think a couple weeks ago we were talking about the Miami Dolphins and the players-only meeting. This is one where we play for one another.
Yes.
Because you as a quarterback, he took a shot at you. I would sit up here and wonder, is he in a bunker with us?
Yeah, no.
He's not in our everyday operation with us. He's up there signing checks and making those professional calls. So I think, like you said, he sold the quarterback out, ran over him with the bus. I just hope that there's some way that this Jets team can rally because they need it.
I got to say this.
What I hope is that his teammates, once his teammates found this out, and I'm sure all of them know what was said, every one of them goes up to Justin Fields and tells him that he has their support, because what Justin Fields said, this organization, whoever it is, head coach, owner, it made your starting quarterback say, sometimes you just got to go out there by yourself. and you're the only one that believes in yourself. That's no quarterback, no player should ever feel that way in the National Football League going out there to play. They don't want me out here. They don't think it should be me. They think I'm a failure. And now he's going to cross those lines and play for him, for the very owner that told him he couldn't complete a pass. So the support Justin Fields gets from his teammates, I hope they all gave it to him this week, because this is wrong what Woody did.
By the way, I mean, how classy was Justin Fields in his press conference?
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, if you're not a fan of him or whatever, it's hard not to be. I'm pulling for him. And I got to be dead honest here. He would have been my quarterback. The kid has ability. So when you sit back, it could have been changed. It could have been different, had they, hired me or whatever. He would have been my quarterback. Okay, I believe in the ability that this young man has. How about we do something to help the guy? All right, the thing that's frustrating to me is when you see the New England Patriots taking off, every one of their players has improved. Every move they made improved their football team. When I look at the Jets, what the hell have they done to improve their team this year? Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
These quarterbacks it's a small fraternity, okay? All these quarterbacks. They talk, they text. I'm sure they got a group. I don't know. But looking at this organization, what quarterback in their right mind in the future would want to play for this team? Would want to play for this owner? The last two quarterbacks, Justin Fields, right? Okay, we're seeing how that's going. It was Aaron Rodgers. Before that, we saw how that went with all the dysfunction that was going on there. They can't handle it. They can't handle it. And I'm telling you, these quarterbacks in college, they take notice too.
Nobody wants to go there.
Hey,
Nobody wants to play there for your quarterback.
It's funny, the same dysfunction team I went to a championship game with as a rookie coach with a rookie quarterback.
I don't know how you did that, Rex.
No, I did it because I actually had good people in the building. And that's why I'm saying, I'm telling you this right now. Behind the curtain, there's a lot of good people in that building still, all right? This happens because some of the decisions you've been making, all right, have been atrocious. I mean, I'm just going to put it out there. How do you fix it? I don't know. But don't just say it's based on, this owner's an absolute loser and stuff like that. I ain't buying that.